Blessings and welcome to The Path to Freedom. My name is Daniel Roquéo, and as always, I'm deeply grateful and honored that you're choosing to tune in, that you're choosing to join me in a moment and for a moment of expanding our consciousness, in a moment and for a moment of raising our vibration through communion, through study, through making ourselves open and available for deeper realizations and insights as to who and what we are, what life is, and as the case is today, how the sacred laws operate and how we can move into vibrational alignment with them. So I'm very happy that you're here. The topic for today we're talking about that the how and the when, where manifestation is concerned, is none of our business. How and when is not of our business. And this, of course, has to do with vibrational alignment, which simply means that we know, that we take on the knowing field, that we move ourselves into the vibration, the consciousness of knowing that whatever it is that we seek to see manifested into our experience, it already is. It's already done. It's not going to happen. It's not a question of whether or not it's going to happen, but it's done. It's already in the infinite mind of spirit. It's already done. And when we know that, when we have done the inner work to release our fears, our worries, our doubts as to when or how or whether or not the good that we desire is going to come into our experience, when we have released that, we're completely open. We're an open channel, an open conduit for the manifestation to flow through. So one of the most common obstacles that we encounter, me included, absolutely, along this beautiful path of manifestation, is that we are so heavenly bent on controlling, on trying to figure out, of wanting to know how the good that we're going to desire is going to manifest, or when it's going to manifest. And the quote unquote bigger manifestation we are seeking to call forth, the more prone we are, and I'm speaking of course generally. Then there are some of us that are very adept at surrendering. There are some of us to whom surrendering comes very easily, and then there are some of us that are struggling, that are having a very difficult and challenging time with releasing and letting go of the sense of control that we perhaps have been living, believing that we have exercised. So wherever we are on the scale, this is for all of us. So one of the most major obstacles is, as I said, that we tend to want to know and to be able to see, to figure out how the good that we desire is going to manifest, when it's going to manifest. And oftentimes when I speak about this, I lean into the nature kingdom. I lean into the plant kingdom. And oftentimes I'm inspired to use an apple seed as an example to illustrate what it means to release and let go of the trying to figure out, what it means to surrender, what it means to release and let go of trying to figure out how and when. So imagine planting an apple seed in the ground. In that apple seed, first of all, in the apple seed, encoded within it, is the highest possibility for the expression of that particular apple seed, right? So even before it's planted in the ground, the highest expression, the highest possibility already exists within the seed. It's encoded within the seed. I don't know if seeds have DNA, but it's encoded within the seed. So there's nothing that needs to happen on the outside for that potential to be expanded. There's no way any anything or anyone can influence that seed to become anything even greater than what it's already meant to be. So, having said that, and leaning into what that means for us, it means that whenever we catch an idea, whenever we catch a dream, whenever we catch a vision, whenever we set an intention, the highest possibility for that vision, for that idea, for that dream, for that vision already exists in the infinite mind of spirit. Every single possibility already exists. So there's nothing that we can do or need to do to expand on that. Because as the statement goes, God begins where imagination ends. So, meaning that whatever is outside of our imagination, that's when God really gets to come in and do the work. So there's nothing we can do to expand on the highest possibility or the highest expression of whatever idea that we catch. Now, coming back to the seed. Once that seed is planted in the ground and the conditions are right and ripe, meaning that the temperature needs to be just perfect for this seed, the pH in the ground needs to be just perfect for this seed, the humidity needs to be optimal for this particular seed. And when the conditions are right and ripe, this seed, the moment it's put in the ground, begins its transitioning from being a seed to allowing for that highest possibility for that particular seed. And as the highest possibility already exists within the seed knows exactly what needs to happen for it to come into manifestation. As that everything comes from God, as God is the only source and supply of everything and anything, God also being the seed. So there's no duality here. But God knows, just as the seed knows, what needs to happen. And God knows with its infinite mind everything that needs to take place for this seed to come into fruition. So, and in that is also included the timing. So the seed has its own particular, unique, and perfect timing for the manifestation of it, the ever expansion of it, the ever expansioning of it. And there's nothing that we can do. Someone once said that there's in no way, shape, or form can we improve the efficiency of God. Meaning that there's nothing that we can do to speed up the process of the seed while maintaining the quality. Yes, there are things that we can do to speed it up, but that always results in a lessening of quality. So we cannot improve the efficiency of God. God always expresses itself perfectly. So encoded in the seed is the highest potential, and God / the seed know exactly what needs to happen for it to come into its highest expression, and when that highest expression is meant to unfold. Translating this to our human endeavors and our creative endeavors. Once again, encoded in every single seed every single idea that we catch is a divine seed. So encoded within that idea is the highest potential. We've talked about that, so let's move on. As for the how, we don't know. We do not know what needs to happen for any idea, for any vision, for any intention, any dream to come into fruition. We do not know. We may wish that we knew. We may try to seek to find out. But all of these arise out of a sense of it not being done. Every fear, every worry, every doubt, every sense of I need to make it happen, every sense of I need to control, I need to micromanage, if I don't do it, it's not going to get done. All these arise out of a sense of not knowing, out of the vibration of lack. So we want to be very mindful. First of all, we want to be very mindful of when these questions, when these thought forms arise within our consciousness, within our minds. Because whenever we entertain, buy into the idea that I need to know how, and I need to know when this is going to happen, this is going to manifest, or how it's going to manifest, in that moment, I'm in vibrational alignment with the non-having of it. I'm in the vibrational alignment with lack and scarcity. And in that moment that we become aware, we're given the opportunity to turn our attention, to lean into trusting, lean into surrendering, leaning into releasing and letting go of these thought forms. It doesn't mean that we necessarily get rid of them, but we can release and let go of our attachment to them. We no longer need to buy into them. Because as long as we run by the fear, as long as we run by the worry or the doubt or the sense that it's not going to happen, or it won't happen in time, or whatever the case may be, whatever questions or conundrums we become aware of in our minds, we are actually delaying manifestation. Because we are not in vibrational alignment with the doneness of it, with the isness of it, but we are in vibrational alignment with the not doneness, the not isness, the not having of it. So we need to do some work around that and move ourselves by whatever means necessary, move ourselves into the knowing and feeling that it's done. It is happening. It is happening divinely perfect, as God always expresses Himself perfectly. And we get to trust that. Just like we get to trust the seed, the apple seed, that it's going to come into fruition, it's going to grow apples, it's going to do whatever it is that the apple seed does and the apple tree does. It's going to do it in the divinely perfect time, at the divinely perfect time, which may not coincide with our human calendar, but that's irrelevant. I mean, God doesn't care about when we think that something should come into manifestation. What if something needs to happen on the other side of the globe for our creative endeavor to, for the conditions to be right and ripe for our creative endeavor, so that we can move forward, so that it can move forward in growing and expanding? What if we need to learn something that today I'm not aware of even that lesson? I'm not even aware of it. But next week, that lesson's going to come into my life. It's going to come into my experience. What if that needs to happen? There's so many aspects and there's so many dimensions to even the tiniest dream or thought or vision or intention. There's so much that we don't know. There's so, like, I'm sitting in a room, and actually this is a room without windows right now. So what I know to be is confined to these four walls. I have an idea of what's behind the door. I have an idea of what's above the ceiling outside the house, but actually I don't know. I knew what it looked like when I came in. I knew what it looked like the last time I saw it, but in this very moment, I don't know. So we're wise to lean into trusting the divine intelligence that has given birth to everything. I mean, look at nature, the divine perfection that is so easily and clearly displayed in nature, in the universe, and actually we can just go to this planet, to Mother Earth and the moon and the sun, and the perfect distance between all of these. The perfect, had the Earth been slightly off by, I don't know, at some other distance from the sun or the moon, the conditions for life on this planet might not have been the perfect ones. Life may not have been coming to being on this planet had the correlation, the distance between the sun and the moon and the Earth been different, kind of like Mars or Venus, or any other planet in this solar system. So we are wise to trust that divine intelligence that is for all, that is for itself, that is always seeking to come into ever greater and grander expressions of itself in, through, and as us, our dreams, our visions, our intentions. So the invitation is for us to become aware of when we get stuck in trying to figure out how or when. Embrace and allow it to be. Release and let go. Release and let go of the attachment to it, and then trust. 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 That was it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, for participating, for joining me. Until the very next time, I bless all of our days, and I bless all of our ways. Much love. Namaste.